Hello, everyone, and welcome to another riveting edition of Under the Floorboards, where we laugh at the creatures that go bump in the night. I'm your host, John, that is not joined this week by my co-host, Eric. He's doing a little less than fabulous this week. We kind of swapped spit, as Mark and Molly put it, and now he's got not COVID, but I guess whatever else was thriving in my body at the time, but we miss him very much. But luckily we have a very exciting show today because we've got all of these fabulous guests that you guys can see if you're watching this on YouTube. If not, you're going to listen to the sweet sultry sounds of their voice for the next hour. But let's introduce August Kiss. You know her from Murder Size and Wolf Hollow. Give it up.
Hello.
Fuck, he's also my clapper. I don't even know what to do anymore. I guess I'm going to have to do more editing this time. And welcoming back Miss Molly Souza.
Yeah. Sorry, that was silent. That was just for the viewers only. You have to.
It's fine. I actually can put in sound bites now. I'm not completely worthless for my editing skills.
Hi.
And unlike our real dads, the return of Papa Mark Cantu of Wolf Hollow, writer director. So excited to have you back on the show. Give it up for Mr. Mark Cantu, everybody.
Hello, everybody. It's great to be back here on the show with my son and my other son who is absent. So as opposed to being an absent father, I have an absent son. It's fine. It doesn't hurt my feelings. Told y'all not to make out, but you don't listen to your dad. It's fine. It's fine.
Porn's ruining this country.
It's true.
But guys, I'm super excited because this week we are going to be talking about the up and coming, highly anticipated Grind. So,
Ooh.
which, you know, Molly and the lovely August will both be acting in, and of course, co-written and definitely directed by Mark Cantu. So super excited to start talking about this film. We're going to get off here and kind of start with a little bit of a synopsis. And I kind of want to start actually with August and Molly. So I want you guys to give us just a little bit of what you think that this movie is about. And then we're going to have Mark kind of come in over top of that. So August, we're going to start with you. What do you think about when you have read the script of Grind? Like, what really comes to your mind for that?
Okay, so like not to reveal too much, but it's kind of like a theater setting, grindhouse type of feel. My segment is a movie within a movie.
Ooh.
Yes. So I'm very excited to be producing that. I'm going to be producing that here in Canada.
Yes, the land of Canuck. Got it.
Yes, maple syrup and back bacon and all that.
At least you guys are nice to each other from what I hear.
Not really. I think that's
I knew it. I knew it was a ruse. I knew it was a fucking ruse.
I love this.
Yeah, I think that's a myth.
All right, well, before we move on to Molly, tell me your least favorite thing about Trudeau. I promise he's not going to watch this.
Oh my God. Yeah, our country's very divided now. So what you guys were going through earlier is happening here now.
I'm glad to know everybody has the same problems at the end of the day.
We do. We're not that different.
So what are your overall thoughts? Again, you don't have to tell us what your segment is yet, because I know, Mark, I think there's like 5 right now?
There's like 5 or 6 currently as we're taping this right now. There's like 5 or 6 movies within the movie that we're actually going out and actually shooting for Grind. So it's a bit of an undertaking, but like I said, definitely well worth it. But yeah, August is part of I don't know, August, do you want to give him a title? Do you want me to give him a title?
Yeah, I can do it. I can do it.
She loves it. Absolutely loves it.
I think I know which one it is. Let's go.
Yes. So sex crazed stripper vampires from Mars. Did I do that right?
Vampire strippers.
Okay. It's
like
a
it makes
very
a difference
long
anyway.
title.
Can't minimize their vocation. They're more
Right.
sexy vampires.
Thank you. And this is why Molly was hired. See, look at that. Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Yes.
Keeping it all in track. That's super exciting. So, like, About how long are we looking? I was going to save this question, but now I'm just curious. Like, about how long are these? Are these going to be about like 5 minute short? Like, are they going to be like in short film format, or are we looking at something that's like a micro, or maybe even taking up a little bit more space for that?
Well, none of them are micro, John. It's just very cold outside.
Maybe they're nervous films. You don't know. And to answer your question, John, yes. All of it. Yes. Are they micro? Are they just a quick commercial? Are they a full feature length in themselves? Yes, John. Yes, they are. That is the answer.
I just like when I saw like when you sent me the deck for this, all I could think about was Mark sends his deck around, guys. We all know that, but
my deck pick.
Yeah. All I could think about was the scene from V for Vendetta where he's like, I'm gonna go Storm Saxon on your ass, and it's the fucking like Storm Saxon cartoon in the background. So that's really fucking exciting to be a part of stuff like that. I think that, Molly, obviously you guys had Demani Inferno in late checkout as well. So I think that there's kind of like
my first movie / Lorette Party actually started as a movie within a movie as well. I love a movie within a movie. I think
I don't think it's done enough.
Yeah, so exactly. Good in that.
And it's like a fun little detour from, you have your A plots and your B plots, but sometimes you just want to see like a little bit of boobs and murder, and you can just inject that in there with a good little movie.
Well, and I think it also, like, one of the things that we talked about, because the concept for like the movies within movies, to me, it was like the moment we come up with it, I was like, it's kind of ballsy to do that. Like, you're going to go shoot a movie anyway, but then you're going to go shoot like these 5 little mini movies, like, to go along with it. And I was telling Saponis, I was like, are we crazy for doing this? Like, or is this the right, way to go with these? And he's like, no, the more the merrier. Like, these are what Grindhouse is all about. Like, we want to give everybody a little bit of a taste of like, yeah, there's a whole universe that we're building. And if nothing else, I think that's one of our strongest suits, is that we're always able to build a universe to have our characters kind of exist in, and just say, yeah, this is the world you're getting dropped into, and whether you like it or not, like, these are the movies that exist in this world. So yeah.
I love that so much. You asked kind of what the movie is about. I think that when I first looked at the script, I saw this like kind of 7-layer bean dip of love for the film
without olives. Yeah, I got it.
Right.
No, of course. That's a callback. You have to go back and listen to my previous episode. but there is such a beautiful film community, especially with indie, and especially even more specifically with indie horror, of people who love movies, and everyone loves movies, right? They're especially like a horror comedy. They're fun, they're scary, they make you laugh, cry, all the things. But then there's these little like grindhouse gems that half the people you show them to are just going to be
what the hell is that?
Dumbfounded. They do it. So Grind kind of has this combination of an ode to Grindhouse and those kind of niche things that everyone in kind of entrenched in the film community has come to love. Everyone has their little things, whether it's like exploitation horror or noir films or something, and then there's this greater film community that's kind of not looking to see that specific. They want something more palatable. So we kind of give them both. We show love to the specific parts of the film community that make it awesome, and this really like presentable package that anyone can get into, not just like complete film nerds like all of us here.
To be fair, there is a part of me, like, on the last couple of movies, like, anytime that I need a break, anytime that I need to turn my brain off and just kind of go, you know what, I just need to reset, I just need to just decompress, the movies that I wind up gravitating towards, and nobody else in my house likes them, nobody else that is like a friend of mine actually enjoys these movies, I wind up loving things like Samurai Cop, Miami Connection. I mean, like, these really like hidden terrible Z-grade movies where people are like, that is garbage, and I'm like, but it's the best fucking thing I've ever had in my entire life. And that's kind of my nod. It was like, you know what, I want everybody to understand like what my sensibility is as a filmmaker, as an audience member, like this is what I vibe with. And if you don't like it, you know, you can go to another movie. That's fine.
There's
It's like-
something about those niche films, and with horror, I think that people in the mainstream will kind of get this like that's bad for you. Don't watch it. It's so bad that like I can't even sit in the room and watch it. It's rotting your brain. Don't watch this. And then Grind kind of offers this literal interpretation of that, where you're like watching past movies, but then really something terrible happens to you. Like, it's real. Your mom wasn't just being dramatic. Stop watching those shit films.
They will rot your brain.
You will watch this movie and you will incur the wrath of the eldritch gods. Like,
I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
so Mark, a little bit from you on this aspect, with, you know, especially like having a co-writer, which has got to be fucking crazy in a situation like this. Like you're saying, you're making so many like micro stories within the story that it feels like where does that cohesion come in, like with having a good co-writer and being able to work together for such a big project like this?
Well, I think, I mean, above all, first and foremost, I mean, I'm really happy and I'm really blessed to actually have Saponis, Brian Bell, Lance Reedinger. Like I've got people around me on the writing team that I've come to know and trust already. Like they've been either part of the last two movies or they've been, you know, involved in some way, shape, or form. So I trust their instincts. I trust exactly what they have to say. And I think, especially with material like this, like the first thing that you want is, you don't want people around that are going to blow smoke up your ass. You don't want people that are just going to go, oh no, everything's great, everything makes sense and it's perfect. I can't tell you, like I will come up with an idea, and pretty much the workflow that we have in place is I kind of have to be like the high level editor on everything, because I got to direct it, I got to shoot it, I got to, you know, do all that stuff with it. But I'm willing to let certain things go. So I'll kind of come in with an idea and say, this is kind of where I'm thinking the A to B is here, guys. And then someone will come in with an idea, and then someone will change it, and then someone will kind of, and so I've got a big picture overview and just go, okay, let me move these pieces around and let me kind of move this here and there. And so I think that that can only happen if you've got great communication with people. You trust them artistically, you trust them, like I said, emotionally, because again, we're going through things. There were a couple of times where it was like, I think this character should die here, I think this character should live. And you're kind of going back and forth 2 or 3 days in a row and just going, you know what? I thought about it, and I'm really passionate about this character surviving. And Saponis and I had a couple of conversations like that where it was like, no, I really think this should happen this way. And each one of us will kind of make our case, but again, we all do it with respect. But again, that only comes from knowing the people that you're surrounding yourself with and loving them and having a good relationship already in place. So I wouldn't have been able to do that with a brand new team that I didn't know, like anybody. Like, this is our first movie. I'm like, that would just be a shit show. Like, it would be a complete train wreck, and everyone would be, well, I need to impress my thing on you, and it would have just been horrible. But here, everybody, you know, we all have no ego at all. You know, starting with me, like I'm just like, guys, sometimes my stuff is shit. And even Molly, like I said, Molly, to a certain extent, like we've had our conversations where her character, she and I have kind of gone back and forth, and she's like, I think this, I think that. And it's just getting everybody on the same page and respecting what everybody has to say without being a dick about it. So, you know,
I feel like that's the main key too, is not being a fucking dick about it. Cause I feel like in this industry, from what I've run into, luckily it's been a lot in the indie world, and it seems like everybody's very cohesive for the most part, where like everyone's very receptive. Everybody's trying to get the same thing accomplished at the end of the day. So it's really cool to have that background, knowing that background going into this movie, that there is so much cohesion between the cast and the production side of things and what everybody wants this to look like, which is an awesome fucking film. So,
well, I mean, oh, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Oh, no, go ahead. It's your show, Dad.
Well, yeah, I was just gonna say, I mean, like, you even look at Molly and August. I mean, like, they're perfect examples. I mean, like, they're here on the show with us, and again, we have conversations all the time. Like I said, August and I go back and forth, and we talk, and like I said, Molly and I talk about, you know, putting certain things here, putting certain things there. I mean, even August got to name her character in her segment. Like she's responsible for those things. So there's so much leeway and latitude we give each other, and just go, I'm going to respect you completely, and I trust where your instincts are on the project. You know.
Mm-hmm. I say Molly's over here thinking about fucking Chewbacca. So
What's new?
Prime.
But so it's really interesting actually to hear that August, that you named your character, because my question after this was we got a little bit from Molly in the last episode that we're going to talk about here in a second, but I would love to know what your character's name is, and I would love to know a little bit, you don't not about the story, but you can definitely tell us about her archetype and what kind of character you're building in this segment.
Well,
That I can't quite say it yet. It's like vampire stripper.
It's a hard one. So her name is
Next
Scarlett
vampire
Van
stripper
Helsing.
from Mars. Yeah.
That's so Carpenter.
Her name's Scarlett Van Helsing.
Ooh.
Yes,
Ooh.
erotic, sexy. She kicks ass. Male stripper ass.
So John, that's another little twist that we were kind of saving, but I'll go ahead and let you know, because again,
Ooh.
this is the first show that I'm doing. Like, I haven't done anybody else's show, so you're getting all of the brandings here first.
Ooh.
So when you say sex crazed vampire strippers from Mars, you would immediately think, I'm like, oh, it's these beautiful like Brink Stevens like 80s, 90s like models. No, the strippers are guys, and they've all got like male bush coming out of their G-strings. And the women are the vampire hunters. That one you owe that one to my wife, Liz. He's the pervert that was like, you know what? What if they were guy strippers? And I was like, you're a fucking genius. And I'm going to try and not kill us driving on the road while I'm laughing, because she told me first thing in the morning. And I'm like, you know what? That's a genius idea. And we ran with it. And so, yeah, you definitely owe her that one.
Thank you, Liz.
Yeah, seriously. Good God.
There you go. Yeah, she says thank you. She said you're welcome.
I've always wanted to be in a creature feature, but more than that, I've always wanted to be in a movie with a Merkin budget. Oh, I'm so excited. That's
I don't know
incredible.
if we're going to have a budget for Merkins, but we'll make it work.
Okay.
We'll
What
figure
is
it
a
out.
Merkin?
I'm the uncool one here too, August. Don't feel bad. What the fuck is a Merkin?
Yeah.
Okay, sit down, kids. Gather round. Gather round.
Hey, John,
That Merkin.
I think we just came up with our new shirt. What is a Merkin? Like, if we could sell those in the grind campaign,
A Merkin is
August, if we can do that, it'd be great.
it's a
Amazing.
crotch wig.
It's a what?
It's a crotch wig for emulating
Oh.
Oh.
bountiful
Yeah.
bush.
Oh.
You're
Okay,
not
I've
fully
heard of this.
exposed. Yeah,
So the shirt's like, what's lurking in the Merkin?
Yeah.
Got it.
there you go.
Keep it jerkin in your Merkin. That's a little
No grinding on the Merkin. Guys, come on, guys.
Don't
right
touch
there.
the Merkin.
All I'm saying is God did talk to us through a burning bush. So I think you've got your everything set up for this next
You
part
are
of the
welcome,
campaign.
guys. There you go. If the movie wasn't going to send us to hell, that one definitely is, John. Sorry.
I like to think of myself as a train conductor with, like, you know, a little less autism.
I think
Still plenty, but
funny, yeah. I think that we should do commentary and just be talking the whole time about like how uncomfortable the Merkins were. Even if you didn't show Bush. Just
But like, you're not naked in the
all over
movie.
them.
Like, yeah, you never show your Merkin. You're just like, why are you wearing a Merkin then under your costume? You're like, don't worry about it. It's for character.
yeah.
so how much is the prop going to be on the Indiegogo for that? One used Merkin.
One used Merkin from Molly Souza. One used Merkin from Mark Cantu, who's directing, but you never see it.
My Merkin is actually just a little Orphan Annie wig, and it's like $7.99 on Amazon. So it's super affordable. That's why I was cast, actually. So
Molly, you can't say that, because then we're gonna have a flood of people. Like, I get those emails on the Indiegogo, and people are like, when is that Merkin going to go on sale? When is that going to happen, guys? And I'm like, you don't have to deal with it. See, this is a problem when you cast troublemakers. They make all the trouble, and Dad has to fucking deal with it. I'm not doing it. No.
Lightly used.
You guys are so fucking weird. I love it. All of you.
Like, I don't think I'm coming down from Canada after all. No.
Somehow.
Oh man. So we've got a badass bitch who is slaying vampire strippers from Mars. We've got Molly. Tell us about your character. Give us her name. Give us her archetype.
AJ McAllister is a young, bright pupil, a film student, a film enthusiast who's, as many people who are like starting a journey, whether it's like high school or college or a new job, is just trying to find her footing with everyone and in the film community. Because it might be surprising to hear, but sometimes it's hard for young women to find their place in the film community. I don't know if you've heard of it.
Absolutely true. Yes, girlfriend, preach.
Absolutely true. So that AJ's she's not like an ingenue, but she's young and bright and just, finding her way in the world with help from a lot of awesome people. Who
I would maybe say I would also volunteer just to kind of like help with that. I think one of the things that like Molly and I both agree on is like AJ's kind of in over her head a little bit in the movie, in the story itself. So like I said, so that's one of the things that kind of leads to some trouble. So
again, is want to do when you're just starting things. You're like, I don't know how to do this. And then this is just life. It's just gestures to everything vaguely.
Well, I know in our last interview, you made a point to say that, Grind really is a story about the friends that we find along the way. And I can't imagine where you would get something like that from, but the reason I ask is, there's a lot surrounding AJ, and I just want to know, is she someone that we're going to see has the ability to ask for help? Because I think that's going to be a big part with how many archetypes and characters we're going to see throughout this entire film, whether it be in the mic or in the varietal of shorts and the overwrapping story of Grind. Is she going to be a character that I feel like there's like this weird level right now of there's these really self-aware characters, like when you watch stuff like Black Phone, and the little girl is just like the most self-aware child I've seen in my entire life? Or is she going to be in a place where she's really still kind of learning that?
That's a great question. And Mark and I talked a lot about being young and the position that you're in when you're young and you ask for help. And I think that AJ does is trying to cling to what she understands will help her. And whether or not that's successful is kind of her journey in the movie. But often when you're young like that, it's not always like the positive things that you latch onto. You're not like, wow, I'm having a tough time. I should go to the gym and find a therapist and call my mom more. You're like, wow, I'm having a bad time. Does vodka help that?
Yeah, exactly.
I do a cake stand and have anonymous sex with people. It's just like, like thing where you're like, oh yeah, no, that's logical and makes sense. It's like, but are you sure it's not?
I got to tell you, I'm really vibing with AJ right now.
As we all will in a year.
Yeah. So Mark, it's funny because you do have an acting background, and I know you've dumped a lot into, being behind the scenes and such. What are the chances, have you rolled around the idea at all of Tarantinoing yourself a little bit in this film?
Get Mark in a Merkin. On Indiegogo. If you donate now, you will have to do it legally.
All right, so here's the thing. If I do a Merkin, that is only at the $100,000 tier that we hit on the Indiegogo. That is the only fucking way I will do that. I'm not ruling it out.
You'll be the king vampire that has to get slayed, and it will be like a 2-foot long white scraggly bush.
Oddly enough, I didn't say where I would put the Merkin.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
There you go. All right. You're asking for it. You're asking for it. Give them what they want.
The butt Merkin. That's what we really want. That's what the people are asking for.
This manual butthole bush of
Ew. Oh, that is so. That is so.
And somehow we crossed the line, and I love it. I'm here for it. You're welcome, guys.
Welcome to the show, August.
Welcome to the show. Welcome to the party, pal.
Yeah, I tried to give you the disclaimer in the group chat, but there's
yes,
really
you did.
You guys should know this by now. Yeah, you should know this. Yeah, like you guys are acting stunned. I'm like, no, come on. Mm-mm.
I was gonna say it's only fucking 7:30 and I haven't even started drinking yet. So
yeah, exactly, guys.
This is the most sober podcast we've ever had.
To be fair, I may make a cameo. We did talk about doing a cameo at some point in one of like the Grindhouse movies, or at least on a poster. There was this little fun fact. There is a movie. There's a cartoon that I pretended to make up with my kids like years ago, and I created like a fake poster for it, and it was supposed to be like a Buck Rogers kind of thing, and so it was called Dirk Star Space Adventurer. And so like I even had a shirt made up for it and everything. And I told my kids, I was like, I will put on like a 70s shitty Battlestar Galactica wig and like the jumpsuit and put a little ray gun and like be Dirk Star on the poster. So as you pass it, you're like, is that fucking Mark on the poster? So I would do that. I wouldn't act. So
yeah, but that's like, yeah, I was gonna say that's like Stan Lee when you see like a picture of him in the background now. It's just kind of like saddening. Like I would much rather see you like walk on the screen and
actually acting.
Yeah, walk on screen, punch somebody in the dick, and just walk off screen. Like
you can.
It's not even like that. In the context of the movie. Hey, I could. All right, I'll figure it out.
Yes, do it, please.
Or you just do like during one of the Wes Brantley movies, you just fucking cross kick across the screen and like in an explosion.
Did you mention Wes Brantley?
I did.
Are we doing that
now? Well, all I know is I'm very excited for my lunchbox to come in.
There you go.
We'll be getting into more of the Indiegogo stuff here in a minute, but yeah. And actually, that is one of the things that I did want to talk about, is with stuff like Wes Brantley, which I'm very excited for. That'll be played by Mr. Brian Saponis, who is a fucking titan. First of all, like I remember meeting him, and like I knew that he was in the wolf suit for Wolf Hollow, but Jesus Christ, he's like. He went to hand me one of those chocolate Twizzlers, and he's like putting it down towards me.
Yeah, he's tall. He's 6'4", 6'5".
He's got to be like 6'6", dude, because I'm 6'1".
Yeah, he just makes me feel like a child. I'm like, it's ridiculous.
I love pictures of you two together, though. It's the cutest thing in the world.
It's like a Looney Tunes cartoon where it's like the little one that's in charge and like the big one that's just like, yeah, cool.
But he's got like the foghorn leghorn slouch like to the side all the time.
Yeah, I've noticed like every once in a while we'll talk. Yeah.
I love Brian to death, but one of the things that I really wanted to get into was and I don't know if some of these have been revealed yet, so I'm not going to bring it up, but I do know that with the shorts, some of them are, or at least one of them is a movie that does exist. And what I wanted to ask was, when you were writing any of these shorts or movie segments within the movie, were there any that really caught your eye that you were just kind of like, I kind of want to turn this into a feature? Like, this feels like it needs the full treatment.
Oh my God, that's such a good question. I want to know.
Honestly, like there are 3 that I would absolutely like go off and shoot a movie today. Like I'd be like, I'm gonna take the next year and a half of my life to go create that. The first one would actually be Bullet Babes, which
Yeah.
is just like straight 80s 90s like Lethal Weapon but with boobs. Like that's what we're going for. China O'Brien, like that's kind of the ballpark that we're in. So Bullet Babes is the first one, because that's as close to canon films as I'm probably gonna get if I go shoot that. The second one would be Subway Samurai, which is like the 70s, like Enter the Dragon exploitation,
Mhm.
but set on the New York subways in the 70s. And then the last one would actually be, like I said, it would be a tie. It would be a double feature. And I know that's cheating, but I don't care because it's my movies and I will do it anyway.
You're
But it
goddamn
would be a
right.
double feature between Sex Crazed Vampires and McQueen, which is the Wes Brantley movie. So those three, I'm going to say three. I know this is four, but that's three to me. So yeah, I would shoot those three.
That's so exciting. So that now I'm just thinking about the possibilities, and like I haven't even seen the movies within the movies yet, you know. So
Lethal boobs. We're talking about lethal boobs here.
That's it right there. Yeah.
Mark, I just want to tell you, you're fucking brilliant. Like, I'm just in awe of your mind, honestly.
I appreciate it, but this is what happens when I don't have any friends, and I'm just like, hey, what entertains me? And I'm just in my office, and that's
Well,
what
I love it. Keep doing it, bud.
That's all I can do.
So another thing I wanted to talk about is, and Mark, I'll let you steer this part of the conversation because obviously these lovely two ladies have also read the script already, so they know, and you can kind of direct what they can talk about, what they can't. But recently, you revealed Corey, uh, the Corey suit, as
Yeah.
one of the Indiegogo perks. Which, guys, it's fucking sick. If you have not checked it out, it was like what, like $1,500, I think, on the Indiegogo.
Yeah.
Guys,
Yeah.
that is fucking insane. That is fucking insane.
Well,
You
it's
could
funny.
be
We did the
Corey.
same thing. Yeah, we did the same thing with like the wolf suit on Wolf Hollow, and like I think it was Brian Bell and one of our other producers, Samantha Corch. She wound up like with they wound up with the two suits. And again, like I said, they got them screen used. Like I said, they were still kind of covered in blood and stained from all the stuff we did on Wolf Hollow. But yeah, like I'll get random pictures from Samantha, and she's got it like in her living room, and her dog is just like, like her dog does not like that suit at all. But maybe he's gotten used to it by now. I don't know. But yeah, like I said, the Corey suit is Ginger Lynn's character. So just to kind of give you a little bit of a preview of where we're headed with that. So Ginger Lynn Allen, who's coming on to star in the movie with us, she winds up playing Corey, and that's the eventual evolution of what happens to her. So I'm not going to say how or when or why, but yeah. So it's a piece of movie history at that point. So
because we are dealing with the Eldritch, we are dealing with like transdimensional like beings at this point, from what I understand. And feel
Right.
free to not correct me if I'm just throwing people a red herring right now. But I just want to know, like, so is it Cthulhu, or are we playing around with everybody? Are we dealing with the void? Like, there's so much, like, it's such a vast world that was created. So I'm just curious if we narrowed it down or if I'm going to go fuck myself.
No, I would never tell you to do that. So honestly, so I don't want to give away too much on the main villain or anything like that. But I will say Heather is playing the darkest of dark villains, if I can maybe kind of say it that way, in terms of shape, in terms of silhouette. But that's pretty much all I'll say. But you're on the right track. Like I said, it's definitely, like I said, we're pulling in a bunch of different elements. And I didn't, even though I know that Lovecraft has this, I mean, it's just such a vast catalog of material. We kind of tried to pull in a little bit from everywhere and just kind of say, I know this worked here and I know this worked there. And I know, So we've got, even though it's not exactly blatantly like this one character, we've got nods to a lot of Lovecraft and Cthulhu and Nyarlathotep and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, that's where I'll leave that one.
Very in the mouth of madness, where it's like,
completely, yeah, exactly.
Where it's definitely there and you feel it the whole time, and then it's just like, yeah, but it didn't really say who it was, and so
Right.
So that's really exciting. I saw that there are going to be hordes of zombies, and when we went to Wolf Hollow, we were talking about kind of the level up system that's going to be happening, with werewolves and such. And I guess with the zombies, quote unquote, or mindless followers of the vast void, is there going to be like the zombie element where like you can taint somebody, or is it just like, no, it's just an overall arcing effect, and like we're battling the people that are just not affected by it are just going to battle up against everything that's bad in this world?
I'd say split the difference on what you just said, and that's kind of the ballpark of where we're landing. It's a little bit of both of the things you just said. So
there will be a lot of taint, but maybe in one of the short films.
You said there'll be a lot of taint,
but just maybe in one of the shorter films.
Fabulous.
We got to give the people what they want. Come on, guys. This is the way.
There'll be a tainting.
Yeah. That is so exciting. Is there a particular, I know last time in Wolf Hollow, you guys used so much fucking blood.
Right.
Are you trying to top yourselves on this one?
You know what? It's such a weird thing to talk about. So the short version of everything on that answer is we're not going with blood necessarily. So one of the things that happens, and again, this is what happens behind the scenes.
Other fluids. Just say other fluids, and
well, the funny thing is like behind the scenes, like whenever you're dealing with movies and stuff like that, there's so many little funny like rules and all this other stuff. So one of the things that happened on Wolf Hollow, and again, you saw the amount of blood that we used on that. So we go to deliver the movie for distribution, and we're turning over all the materials and everything else. And one of the first things our distributor says is, well, you can't give us a trailer with blood. And I'm like, well, it's a horror movie. Like, how are we kind of, and they're like, well, we can't show like overt acts of violence. We can't do this. We can't do that. There's so many like little rules that unless you've been through the process of delivering, you don't know that are there until you get there. And so to me, building into Grind, it's one of those things where I'm like, you know what? Okay, they're not going to let me show blood in the trailer if I put it anywhere. So what can I put in there? And it's kind of like the scene in Evil Dead 2, where Ash, like the walls just start just shooting every color at him. And I'm like, yeah, if I do that, that'll get us around it, because it's like, it's not blood, it's some sort of fluid, but it's not blood. So as long as I've got everybody covered in some sort of juice or fluid, that will somehow pass and be more acceptable. So yeah. So that influenced exactly how we're dealing with Grind.
100% more disturbing to describe that conceptually.
Exactly. It makes it worse. And I'm still like, but you're still going to let that pass. Okay, that's fine. I don't make the rules.
Yeah. It's like when they started making cartoon blood black, and I'm just like, they still killed that dude. Like,
right. I still know what the sounds. I know what that means. I know that he's dead.
So correct me if I'm wrong, but August, I think you said before we got on that you were actually producing your segment. Is that true?
Yes, I'm so excited to do that.
So give us a little bit of an idea of what that entails, because that's got to be a pretty big undertaking for, producing and acting in that.
Yeah, so I'm going to be including some of my colleagues here in Toronto, and we're going to be casting, and I think it's going to be great. I'm not worried about it at all.
Hell yeah. Well,
Yeah.
what exactly does that mean for you though with being a producer? For people who have no idea out there.
Well, I'm gonna have to distribute the funds appropriately, but like keep it in budget. Setting up the location. I'm gonna be casting it as well, so that's gonna be fun. I'm actually really excited for the casting part. Hiring the makeup people.
Well, luckily you probably already have a pretty vast network up there, I would think, right?
Yeah, it can always be bigger, but yeah.
Can't we all?
Right?
It's not a micro short, it's just a short.
Right.
The Merkins
so
was in the
excited
way.
When your short's cold outside, it's not a feature anymore.
Oh, damn, it's so cold here.
Dude, that's why I don't understand Canada. I'll be honest with you. Like,
I don't understand it. And I live here. I don't get it.
They're like, we have underground malls. I was like, that should be your first hint.
We do? Where's the underground mall?
Apparently up north. That's the legends we hear down here, at least.
What the fuck?
I just assume you're all mole people.
Yeah. More like we stay inside and order from Amazon.
There you go.
Bezos, the new Cthulhu. Well, are there any like when I was talking about the blood a minute ago, one of the things that I was curious about too is I get if you can't tell us yet, but are there any particular, I know especially in the indie world, and Molly even made a comment about it while we were interviewing her, and she was like, what the fuck are they doing up in Pittsburgh with their practical effects? You know, so is there anything, especially now that I've seen a few of your movies, Mark, I know that you're already prone to ripping spines out of asses, but I'm very curious as to what if there's anything that you're particularly excited for, and just give people like a little bit of taste of what they can expect in this film.
Lots of tentacles. There's going to be like one of the things that I love doing things practically, and I say that because I enjoy the giving those worlds to my actors and just kind of saying, look, I'm not going to CGI this bullshit in later. Like, you're going to have to react to a real tentacle around your neck or around your arms or whatever. And there's just something immediate about all that stuff. So I enjoy that aspect. And to me, it makes it even more like playtime. I mean, it really is like we're getting to dress up and be covered in goo, and like we're kids on Halloween again. Like, that's exactly what we're signing up for. So that's one part of it that I'm absolutely looking forward to. The other thing that I'm genuinely looking forward to probably the most is shooting our main villain, which is Heather Rizzo in the suit. And we've posted some of those pictures, and the company that did our suits for Wolf Hollow, they're doing her suit for Grind as well. And it's just one of those things, like, they've sent me pictures and I'm just like, Jesus Christ, like this, it's a little bit alien. It's a little bit, H.R. Giger's work in general. And you're just kind of like, it's going to be different. It's going to be completely different. And we're also going to be trying a lot of different stuff in camera in terms of how we shoot her. So a lot of backlight, wind, smoke, but then some weird funky stuff with our actual lenses. So, I mean, there's a lot of challenges that are going to just be inherent, like on the day you're like, shit, how the fuck are we going to do this? And just trying to figure those things out. And I think that's what I'm probably looking forward to the most, is trying to figure those brand new challenges out that have nothing to do with werewolves or, serial killers or anything like that. And it's just a different skill set that I'm going to have to learn on the fly. And I think that's the thing that I'm looking forward to the most. So
when I came onto the project, I remember seeing like the inception of Wolf Hollow when you were crowdfunding for that, and I saw it, and I didn't really know anyone involved, but then when I saw the pictures of the wolf outfit, which actually I was under the impression that as a practical effect you just turned Brian Bell or Brian, what's his last
Saponis.
just into a werewolf. I thought that's why he was so tall and like a little bit disappointed, but
We could have gone that way. Yeah, exactly.
yeah, I feel like you did secretly. But
Can we
it's so impressive to have such an ambitious, like in the case of Grind, literally otherworldly, this
Right.
otherworldly concept, and to articulate it so well. And when I came on, I was really happy to see how many sketches there were and how those things were moving to be produced, that there was a plan to make these things happen. That's like the thing I'm consistently impressed with the production team, is like really ambitious ideas, but then also the talent and connections to bring those things to life, to articulate them well on film. So whatever you're expecting from like an indie alien sort of outer space movie, it's gonna be better than that. It looks great. It looks really fucking freaky.
Well, and that's the other thing too. Like Saponis and I, and my wife and I, like we've all talked about it. And I think it's such a great sign because one, I'm surrounded by fantastic people. I mean, like I've got August, Molly, Saponis, everybody. But this is probably the fastest. This is probably the most intensely that I've ever worked in such a short amount of time, to do the sketches, to do the scheduling, to get everything worked out, to write the script, and like all those things have happened within 6 or 7 months. I mean, it really, it hasn't been a project where I've sat back and said, let me think on this and let me kind of hem and haw, and like it has literally come from the depths of my soul. So it's one of those things where you're like, we're on the right track. And like what Molly's saying right now is that everybody down the line, you can't help but see that in the work, is like, whether it's from me, Saponis, Shonda Rawlings, like anybody involved, everybody's passionate because they see very clearly what the objective is. And we go, no, this is the movie we're going to make. And you just go, fuck yeah, I'll sign up for that. Like that sounds like fun. So, and that's, I can't ask for more than that. So.
Can we talk about how gorgeous Heather is?
Yeah.
Oh my
Yeah,
god.
and I'm gonna cover her in a fucking suit and not take a
I
damn
know.
Like she's just an otherworldly beauty without anything on her. Like the shape of her face, I was like, are you real?
I was like a cartoon fucking character when I saw her the first time. Like my jaw hit the fucking floor.
Well, and she's the first person you see in Wolf Hollow. Like she's the dancer at the bonfire. Yeah. And so like when we talked, like to give you a backstory, like how I met her, she's a model in New Jersey, and like we just happened to like connect on Instagram, and she was like, oh, I've always wanted to be in a horror movie. And I was like, why don't you come down and hang out with us, and we'll take care of you for the day, and
we'll kill you.
And the moment she walked in, I was like, you're in the movie for a lot longer than you think. And like and so like if you look at that sequence, like she's the beginning shot and she's the end shot in that opening. Like she's the first person and the last person we see. Mm-hmm. And like it's because she stands out so well, and you're just like, you're absolutely gorgeous. And I mean, not to objectify her, but I mean she is. But it's
one of those
objectively
gorgeous and not be objectified.
Right. But she's just amazing, and she's a great actress. And she's like, did I do okay? I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, you did amazingly well. Like, you should be in more things. And I even told her, I think after we had the Wolf Hollow premiere, like I didn't know what I was going to do next, but I was like, you're with us for whatever else I do next. I don't care what it is. And the moment that character popped into my brain, I was like, it's got to be Heather. It has to be her. And one of the instructions that we've given our makeup people is, you're not going to touch her face. Like, you can build everything else behind her head, but her face, like, I want her actual structure and her bone structure. Like, she's absolutely gorgeous. And I was like, I want that coming through,
Please mind control me.
Right.
And I think that's actually really good for the designs that I've seen too. Like, it just feels like that character needs those defining features, and her face just has that, built into it. But
and she's like 6 feet tall. I mean, like, she's like,
is she really
like
good?
Yeah, it's ridiculous. It's I'm like, you're a freak of nature and I love you for it. Thank you. Don't ever stop being beautiful. Be you. Yeah.
So one of the things I want to get into before we get off here is, guys, y'all are still crowdfunding. So
Yeah.
for those of you who don't know, Grind currently they have their Indiegogo on. If you are watching this on YouTube, the link will be in the comments below. Otherwise, you can go to the Grind page on Instagram, which you can also see on the screen, but you can also follow us on Instagram, which will lead you literally to all of these fucking movies that we talk about at any given time, which will lead you to these Indiegogos, because the biggest thing about indie horror is supporting them and not supporting these fucking films that don't have any heart to them, like Infinity Pool. But like all of these movies that like have these giant budgets that aren't doing the same caliber of storytelling and love that are really put into the movies that we care about. So first thing I want to congratulate you guys on is hitting your mark in the first week at $25,000. That is incredible. Y'all are on your way. You're about I don't know, $1,500 short of $30,000 right now.
Yeah, I think we're at 28 now. Last time I checked, I think we're at 20, a little like a shade under 29 at this point.
Yeah, so that's absolutely incredible. But what the difference is, guys, is you can be a part of this film in a way that you can either literally be a part of it, or you have all of these amazing perks. So we're going to go around for a minute. Molly, we'll start with you because you and August swapped spots on the Zoom somehow. But Molly, we're going to start with you. Talk about some of the perks that you're really excited about and what people should be excited about if they want to be a part of this film.
So I get questions all the time about how do I get involved in indie horror? Like, how do I want to make movies, I want to act, I want to design sets, I want to meet Felissa Rose, I want to do these things. And you know, there's always auditioning and there's always kind of getting in on that ground level. But if you're not getting in on that ground level, there's other opportunities for you. And personally, I think that you mentioned Mark working with Sam
Corch, yeah.
Who came on in one of my movies, Late Checkout, and paid to be on set and then left to someone who we would absolutely call again to work with. Sometimes opening the door to a set, opening the door to these opportunities that you want to be on set, you want to make a movie, it's as easy as like opening your wallet and clicking a couple of times. You can come to set, you can meet your heroes, you can act, you can be murdered brutally by beautiful women. The possibilities are really endless. You just have to pick up a perk to act with someone in the movie. I think that's really amazing. And anyone who wants to get involved with an indie movie, there's your in. You don't even have to know people. You just have to find the link.
Absolutely. Mark, what about yourself? What do you think?
Molly's got me sold on it. I'll be in the movie. Shit, I'll do it.
We have your Merkins ready.
Right, exactly. So I think honestly, like one of the things that I am genuinely like happy about with the campaign and like all the perks that we have, and I mean because we've got so many damn perks. It's owning the merchandise, like, and when I say the merchant, it's like the Wes Brantley t-shirts, the Wes Brantley lunch boxes and stuff like that. Because to me, as actors, I mean, that's kind of what you always like when you're a kid and you're, you know, imagining it's like the equivalent of like being a sports star and being like my name and my face are on a lunchbox. And so to me, it's just the coolest fucking thing we could possibly come up with. I'm like, whether it's the t-shirts, whether it's the lunch boxes, but beyond that, it's the actual props from the movies. Like those are the ones where I'm just like, I would own like some of Molly's props from the movie and or her Letterman jacket that she's got, that she's supposed to wear, which is just right there off camera, but I'm not gonna quite reveal it right now. Well, no, I think I've posted a picture, but it's literally just teasing me right there. It's right. Yeah. Sorry, Molly. Sorry.
I gotta tell you too, like, I'm excited for my lunchbox. He wasn't kidding about that. I'm probably just gonna put drugs in mine, but it is really cool that those are available. And again, like it's just like this big ethos that's being created, and it's like being the hype is really what Indiegogo is really about. So August,
Yeah.
what are you really excited about? If you're trying to sell somebody on getting these Indiegogo perks and getting out there, how would you do that?
Well, I have to agree with Molly for sure. The walk on roll is an amazing way to get to know people in this industry. And I don't know anybody who hasn't continued doing that, and not necessarily paying for roles, but like getting paid gigs. It's an amazing way to meet people. I also love the lunch boxes, but I'm not going to use it for lunch. I'm going to use it for makeup.
Me too.
So, yes.
That's like,
You know, and I find that sometimes people, they're like, well, why would you pay for a role? But why wouldn't you pay for a role if you're looking for a way in?
I was saying, if you've never had a role. Like...
Yeah, why not?
Right. Well, it's the same thing.
It's a good way to like invest a little money without investing a ton of money into lessons and pictures and all this. You know what I mean?
So
yeah, I was going to say the same thing too. It's almost like we've got our internships that are up on the campaign as well, where you can spend a week with us. But then it's also the equivalent of investing in headshots, investing in acting classes. I mean, it's the equivalent of that. Of you're going to be on set, you're going to get FaceTime, you're going to get a role, you're going to get at least 2 or 3 lines out of it, and you're guaranteed you're not going to just kind of be slamming yourself against the wall going, I spent $800 on acting lessons and headshots and it didn't pay off. I didn't get anything, going this time. So to me, that's how I make that equivalent. Yeah.
Yeah,
like hang out with these lovely people.
I would say it's a lot cheaper to do that. Like figure out quickly if you like acting or not.
Right.
Right.
Just what a set is like. It's such a special environment. Each set is kind of different, and I think that a lot of people kind of describe it as summer camp, which obviously it's strenuous work, and everyone has their job and it's very focused, but there is kind of an element of making these lifelong bonds and learning and doing new activities that is a little reminiscent of like a summer camp environment, like a summer camp where you die.
Sleepaway camp.
Yeah.
Mark,
like
was the perk $400?
Is the what?
Is it $400 the perk?
Depends on the perk, but there's a couple that there's a few different in certain ranges. So yeah.
Oh, okay, because that's a really good price.
Yeah, there's like I said, there's a few. Even like some of the associate producer perks, like we had some feedback and we lowered one this past weekend to $150 for a producer perk. So yeah, I mean there's a whole slew of what you can get. Yeah.
Yeah, it's affordable.
Same thing. August earlier was talking about how rewarding it is to put together something as a producer. And being a producer, you are producing the movie, you are making the movie, you will have input. If you have things that you can help with, locations, you want to talk to directors, you want to talk to actors, that's a great way to get involved behind the scenes and get a chance to show people what you can do. I actually often will get people who message me and be like, hey, you can shoot at my house. You slut.
You beautiful bastard.
I'm sorry. What were you talking about? Oh, did you check out my jacket that I happen to be wearing right now? That is supposed to fit Molly, but somehow also fits me because I'm like a dainty little ingenue.
It's unisex.
Yeah, Mark is my stunt double, actually. We have the exact time.
Yeah, but the difference is that you'll see my Merkin.
Yes.
Whenever I do the stunts. Yeah. But yes, you can also enjoy this wonderful Letterman jacket that or not Letterman jacket, but just like a university jacket that Molly will be sporting throughout the movie.
I love it. Beautiful colors.
Yeah, there you go. I'm not gonna rip it for you, Molly.
Well, it's cool to have these physical props and having those stories, they're conversation pieces in your house. You can sell them on eBay later when you get horribly addicted to online shopping and need to fuel your addiction. Right. You can do whatever you want with it. Mark had brought up earlier that Evie, the giant 6'8" werewolf, is currently standing in a young woman's living room.
Right.
That could be you. You could be upsetting your dog and house guests and mother with a giant alien costume.
I just want to imagine her at Thanksgiving with her family around the table with the werewolf just looming awkwardly over all of them at Thanksgiving. Yeah. That makes me happy.
Physical media is always cool too. I know that like a lot of people rely on streaming nowadays, and maybe this is me because I'm old and I was born in the 1900s. But I love physical media, and I love all the extra things you get, some special features, commentary, the power to view it when you want to, because streaming is not forever. Things get taken away and moved and you don't have access to it. Having a copy of it not only gives you access to a bunch of cool new features, but it also guarantees that you'll be able to see it over and over again. And especially if you're like a producer or something, you can always like pop it in and scream in your grandma's face, like, "Do you see my name right there in the executive producers list?"
Grandma, this is my jacket, Grandma.
Get it!
My jacket.
No one can take that away from you once you have it.
Mark, are you offering IMDb credits for the walk-ons?
Yeah.
Okay, that's another really good thing.
See?
Yeah.
Absolutely killing the game.
And you'll get to see Wes Brantley. With all due respect, I want to faint every time. Yeah, John and I have actually the mustache comes out and I have to fix my Zoom so I don't see him.
Get the mob.
I forget how to read. It's just a nightmare. So you could be on set with Wes Brantley.
Mm-hmm. Well, and also, guys, just keep in mind, like, if you can't afford to monetarily help these films, the biggest thing that you can do is always help spread the word. Always get it out there, because the biggest thing that makes movies like this and a slew of others that I could name that I'm not going to, because today is about fucking grind, is all happening because of the support of the community. That's literally why we even have a fucking channel. So at the end of the day, just remember that like these people are pouring their hearts and souls into these amazing projects that I can't wait to fucking see this movie. And I hope by the end of this, all of you feel the same way, you know. And I'll reiterate one of Mark's pitches from the Indiegogo page, where they are shooting really high for what this movie is going to do. And it was amazing that they hit 25K in a week, and they're on track to doing to making the money and doing some incredible shit. First of all, if you're one of those people that were complaining about Netflix not paying people, this is how people can get paid. This is how people can do what they love and make something incredible and make the money that they deserve in this ethos. And at the same time, like, it's amazing. Like, I can't really say enough good things about what this community builds, you know, and grind especially, I know I'm excited for, and I'm really lucky that, you know, you guys have brought us into the fold and let us have the time to talk to you guys. It's been absolutely incredible. I was gonna catch you guys off guard a little bit.
Uh-oh.
I was literally about to say I was about to catch you guys off guard, and Mark fucking hit me with the 1-2 octo.
Just reveal the big bad.
Oh, I'm sorry. Am I not supposed to do that here?
No.
This is our bad guy.
You
This
paid
is
$5,000 for that prosthetic, Mark. Please put it away.
I'm Molly. Look at me. No, that's
It was
that's an
That's-
approximation.
Molly
That's all
was
we're
the
gonna do.
Molly was the villain the whole time. But the last thing I want to get from you guys is just one of your quotes. And you can say no, a quote from the movie, completely out of context. We'll start
I'm
with
gonna
Molly.
pass on that.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I said you could say no. You can
Yeah.
totally tell me to fuck myself no matter what Mark says.
That's so hard, because what I want to say, like my favorite, is I just absolutely can't say it. I can't say it here because I don't want to reveal things, and it's also obscene. So
Do Do you even remember
I know
what
which
you
one
said
she's
on that
talking
last?
about. I think I know which one she's talking about.
She's like, it's obscene. For anybody who listened to the last episode with Molly, she just said this line is obscene.
Okay.
Right. It's crossing a line.
I don't know what John is insinuating here, but as you can see, and also probably hear in my voice, I'm a little baby angel, and I've never done anything inappropriate in my life.
Angels don't have red hair. The Bible said that.
I don't know that I'm gonna pass on that one. Yeah.
Okay. All the more excitement for Grind, guys. So I want to thank everybody for being on the what?
No, nothing. I wasn't gonna say anything.
All right, you look like you were stopping me for something else.
I'll give my line. That's sex and ice cream.
Hell fucking yeah.
baby!
And you can get those
That's my
t-shirts.
favorite line.
And you can get those t-shirts now on the Indiegogo page, guys. So make sure you're following Grind.
There you go.
Yeah, we were going full circle with it. I was trying to open the door for you more than anything else. But all right, guys. So where can we follow everybody at so that we can keep up with all these incredible people? Molly, we'll start with you.
You can follow me around the grocery store. No, you can follow me at Instagram at Molly with the bright red hair. And that's it. Please don't follow me anywhere else. That would be scary.
Mark, what about yourself, brother?
I am under Mark Cantu 98 on Instagram, just under my boring old name on Facebook. And then you can also find Grind on Instagram and Facebook under Grind Official Movie. So catch up with us there, guys.
Absolutely. And August, what about yourself?
Find me at August Kiss backup account, Instagram.
I'm sure there's a story there, and I would love to hear it someday.
Oh, please.
Well, thank you guys for being on the show. We love you guys so much. Eric is sending his love via text right now and sad that he missed out on this incredible episode. But thank you guys once again for joining us. Where it creaks, it cracks, and we laugh at the creatures that go bump in the night.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.